Hello, I'm Chris Merritt, and with me is Ken Fowley, the head of the Australian practice of Slater and Gordon. And we're here to talk about a very innovative approach to the distribution of legal services. Ken, tell me about it.
Chris, good to be with you. Thanks for having me. Well, Chris, what we've done is we've launched a product that seeks to help ordinary people complete unfair dismissal applications. What's interesting about the product is that it's predominantly completed and fulfilled online, but it also involves interaction with a lawyer within our practice to help the person complete their application, and the product is offered for a fixed fee. So we're really interested and excited to see how this goes because it seeks to address what we think is a current need within our community to try and help people with this process, which people experience and too often experience without the assistance of any legal assistance.
So this is using computer technology to take the firm into an area of work that you previously weren't really that active in, is that right?
Well, the fundamental problem, well, I suppose a few things to say about it, Chris. I mean, the first is we think as an organisation that online, the internet, is going to be a force within the provision of legal services. And you know, our assessment is that we're closer to the beginning of that phase than the end of it, and we think that there are a lot of opportunities for organisations like ours who are seeking to serve everyday people to really help them or use online products to assist people with their legal needs.
So this is not a one-off. This could be the beginning of something.
No, we don't see this as a single product. We have two online products now. We have an online will, which is again a guided service for clients to help them to complete a will, and in some cases quite complex wills entirely themselves. And then we have this product, which is an unfair dismissal product, which again is predominantly an online piece.
From the perspective of a consumer, what's in it for them? Why should they do it this way?
Well, I think the problem that this product seeks to solve is a problem that it's hard for traditional legal services, how they're traditionally delivered, to deliver value to a client who's facing the decision as to whether to lodge an unfair dismissal application, for instance, because the traditional mode by which legal services are delivered tends to be a mode where a client comes and sees you in a sort of a traditional face-to-face interview and would expect you to assist them throughout the entire course of that matter. And oftentimes what's at stake in that matter is not sufficient to justify the client making the investment that would be needed in order to support ongoing legal support. So really what online does, and what it does is, I suppose, two things. Firstly, it enables us to sort of unbundle those services, to provide a part of the service without providing the entirety of the service. And secondly, we'd like to think it allows us, with the use of technology and with the intellectual property that sits behind this product, it allows us to deliver the service at a price point that hopefully delivers real value to the client. So when we went into this project in the course of the last 12 months, when we started this project, we were really looking for areas of law which are difficult to serve in a traditional way through a conventional model, which could be enabled through the use of online resources, and we found this was a terrific place to start.
This seems to be exactly what the Productivity Commission was talking about in their report on access to justice, when they were in favour of unbundling legal services.
Well, I think there's certainly lots of aspects of the Productivity Commission's report which are worthy of consideration, including that observation that one of the difficulties in the provision of legal services at the moment is that clients actually get relatively little choice, because as legal service providers we're sort of obliged to provide one product, which is a traditional product where I, as the client, engage the law firm to kind of conduct the matter from beginning to end, not able really to acknowledge that there are discrete components of that service, some of which might be more valuable and may be better aided by legal practitioner involvement, and other aspects may well be able to be done without that level of involvement or a different type of involvement. So we think that that's a terrifically interesting idea, and we think this is a product which seeks to try and explore that idea in a real environment.
So the use of the technology, if I understand it correctly, it makes it viable for the firm to be in this segment, but also makes it available to consumers who would not have otherwise had access to legal advice.
Well, that's what we'd like. That's what we're certainly striving to achieve through this product, is to try and strike that balance, as I say, of delivering genuine value to clients. Because at the end of the day, unless it's valuable to clients, unless it delivers genuine value, a client's not going to embrace it. And also to do it in a way, both in terms of process, but also in terms of how much it costs the client. We think to do it in a way that makes it viable for the organisation. So it's a, you know, this is the first of these products that we've developed ourselves from scratch, and what it seeks to do is it seeks to try and help the client or guide them through the process of completing the application, not by just putting a sort of a PDF on the screen and saying, you know, complete this, by actually asking them critical questions to guide their answers so that they're addressing the critical issues based on their own knowledge. And then at the end of them having completed the process themselves, we then offer them a consultation with someone within the firm to make sure that the really important aspects of the application have been advanced to the best interests of the client.
Sounds almost revolutionary.
Well, I don't know about that, Chris, but we certainly see there as being a lot of potential in a range of areas that we serve for clients to receive a greater degree of fulfilment through online services.
It's a good note to finish on. We've been talking to Ken Fowley from Slater & Gordon.